So absolutely one of the first things you need to do when creating a new business is come up with a business name. Luckily, AI now helps you do this a lot quicker. So what you want to do is just describe your business. So we provide advice and support for small business owners to hire offshore resources. Spell that correctly. That'll help. One word, two words. Very hard to get one word, so let's go two word. Is there a specific length of domain? So I would go a little bit lower with that one. And then do you want to put a particular keyword in there? So if you like it, so resourcing is one of ours. Before or after doesn't matter. Probably after. Depends on what you've got. Use a modifier to increase your chances of finding available domain. And then you got kind of what kind of style do you want? To an alternate spelling where it'll mix things up, short phrase, or a brandable name. So we'll go brandable name. Just to let you know, all of these are often sponsored by the domain name companies, but that then you purchase off there. So let's have a look, see what it spits out. And then you have, I'm here in Australia, so obviously you have the .com and .com.au one, which is great. And then you can just start to look around. Is any of those do you like? Beyond, higher, yeah, Thrive Team. And you just keep going. So this is just an iterative process of continuing to look at different ones. Mindbridge, quite like that one. Talent Surge, yeah, probably not. Talent Key, yeah, some elements to that one I quite like. There's not too much that is jumping out at me here, so I'll just hit generate more. Inside link. What else have we got? Spark Echo. It's not clearly not the be all and end all, but it does start to give you some good sort of insights. Let's go back to the wizard and then let's try the before one. Try a short phrase and spit that out and see what else we come up with. Okay, resourcing crew. I like edge because it's giving you an edge. So sometimes you just find names that just connect to you. Flex, yeah, not too bad. Loop. The idea is, you're creating a virtual loop, possibly. To look at those. Let's generate some more. You just keep going and going until you find something that you really like. Lucky enough, this one's obviously spitting out the fact that these domains are available. There's no point finding a name only to see if it's not available. One thing to consider as well is that sometimes you want to buy three or four different extensions of the same name so that you're protected in case someone decides to create the exact same name but with .com instead of .com.au. I would stress that these doesn't give you intellectual property. That's a whole different ballgame, and I'm not going to get into that with this. But for now, you are really just looking to find a name that you got the URL available for. So let's just go back to the wizard. And again, not loving these. Let's try alternate spelling. Often alternate spelling makes it a little bit easier because you are able to create a name that's never used before. So a portmanteau or a amalgamation of a couple of names. You have to remember that Google was almost unknown as a phrase until, and again, it's all about the product, not necessarily the name. So the fact that they had an amazing product helped them gain the worldwide traction, not the fact that they had a cool name called Google. Okay, what have we got? Offshore edge resourcing. Yeah, it's not too bad. What have we got? Venture out, cross shore, biz cruise. Outdesk. So you can see they're starting to amalgamate these two names, Offbiz, Offload. It's going to get a lot of these wrong, but it'll get a few of them right. And then you can start to look at those and have a look. Which one do you like? Let's have a look. Sorting loop. And then they'll flick you onto the GoDaddy to look to purchase the name if you found on that. Before you do that, I would suggest that you do some Google searches for that name and just see what else is out there, especially in your country. So if you're up against a big branded name that is almost the same, you're potentially going to run into so much problems. One, they might come after you for intellectual property, but more importantly, if your name is almost the same and there's a lot of others out there, is that you're just not going to get any kind of traction on when people search even for your name exactly. They'll find your competitors or people doing something completely different and give up. So that's just one other consideration as well, is that within sort of 6-12 months for your brand name, you want to be ideally at the first page of Google, so that when people have just heard your name somewhere and they type it in, they can find you, because they might not know your extension. You might be a .co, a .biz, .io, .ai. Doesn't really matter. The point is that if you've got something that's just too generic, you'll find a whole bunch of other businesses out there. So I hope you found this little tutorial useful.